Welcome back to Casefile X, where we uncover the real stories of courage, survival, and the human spirit. Tonight, we share the story of Emily Hart, a young woman whose life was forever changed in a single night. This is a story of fear, trauma, and ultimately, empowerment. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear will inspire, shock, and leave you in awe of human resilience. Emily Hart grew up in a quiet Boston neighborhood, the kind of area where everyone knew your name and neighbors left their doors unlocked. She was 24, bright, compassionate, and pursuing a career as a nurse. Her life revolved around long shifts at the hospital, weekend hikes with friends, and small moments of joy like reading on her balcony or enjoying her favorite coffee shop. She had always been careful, but lived independently and freely. That night in March 2018, after finishing her evening shift, she walked home carrying her medical bag and a sense of relief that the week had finally ended. Little did she know, someone had been following her for weeks. A man with a dangerous obsession, fixated on Emily and willing to cross any line to control her life. As Emily unlocked her apartment door, she felt a shadow behind her. Before she could react, she was grabbed and forced inside. The attacker had studied her routines meticulously, anticipating her every move. Emily struggled, her heart pounding, her mind racing with fear. She realized that compliance could be deadly, but resistance could also cost her life. In a moment of clarity and sheer instinct, Emily used her body weight to push him off balance, grabbed her keys, and ran. She managed to lock herself in the bathroom and call 911, whispering details as quietly as possible while her attacker tried to break in. Police arrived within minutes, but the experience left her shaken, injured, and terrified for her life. Emily's recovery was grueling. The physical injuries healed, but the mental scars were deep. She experienced panic attacks, insomnia, and flashbacks. Every shadow, every knock at the door reminded her of that night. Friends and family were supportive, but they could not fully understand what she endured. Despite her trauma, Emily refused to retreat into fear. She began therapy, gradually learning coping mechanisms. She journaled, exercised, and sought support groups for survivors of violent attacks. The process was slow, but Emily discovered a strength she hadn't known she possessed, a resilience that would guide the rest of her journey. Emily's attacker tried to manipulate the legal system, hiring expensive lawyers to reduce charges and intimidate her. Court dates were stressful, and the process often felt like a second assault. But Emily remained steadfast, determined not just to survive, but to see justice served. She meticulously documented her experiences, worked closely with investigators, and attended every hearing. Along the way, she met other survivors who had faced similar predators, forming bonds that became sources of strength. The courtroom became a battleground, not just against her attacker, but against a system that often favored the accused over the victim. As Emily's story gained attention, she realized that her experience could help others. She began speaking publicly, sharing her story in survivor groups, podcasts, and local news outlets. Her message was clear: survivors are not alone, and early awareness can prevent tragedies. Emily worked with local authorities to implement safety programs, self-defense workshops, and educational seminars. She helped craft legislation aimed at tightening stalking laws, ensuring that others wouldn't face the same vulnerabilities. Her bravery inspired countless others to speak out, reclaim their power, and fight back against fear. Emily's journey also focused on rebuilding her personal life. She returned to work part-time at the hospital, finding purpose in helping others heal. She reconnected with old friends and strengthened family bonds. Each small victory, from walking alone at night again to completing a marathon, became a testament to her courage and determination. Through her advocacy, she met other survivors who shared their experiences, forming a network of resilience. Together, they organized support groups, fundraisers, and public awareness campaigns, turning private pain into collective empowerment. After months of investigations and court proceedings, Emily's attacker was convicted on multiple charges, sentenced to a lengthy prison term, He was removed from society, but the real victory was Emily's reclamation of her life. The courtroom moments, her speeches, and the public recognition of her bravery became a symbol of hope. Emily had survived, she had endured, and she had transformed her trauma into a force for good. Emily's story is more than survival, it is empowerment. She continues to speak to schools, hospitals, and survivor networks, teaching safety, resilience, and the power of reclaiming one's life after trauma. Her story has inspired books, podcasts, and countless viewers to never underestimate the strength of a human spirit determined to rise above fear. Emily Hart reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it head-on. Her story shows the impact one survivor can have, not just on their own life, but on countless others who draw strength from her journey. Thank you for watching this episode of Casefile X. If you want more stories of survival, courage, and the crimes of the powerful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss our next investigation.